Hi there, I'm Tomas Michaud from Real Guitar Awesomeness and Starland School of Music. What did all those chords have in common? You're right, they're all forms of the F chord. I call it the F chord jam. You know, the F chord is a single chord I've had more students tell me they've had problems with, especially in the beginning stages. And that's because no matter how you do it, you're going to need some form of a bar. You know, it's not really that hard, and I'm going to show you a step-by-step method to master this chord. When we're done, problems with the F chord will be an ancient memory. Hey there. We're going to start off with the partial bar F chord. Looks like this. Now the problem is that little bar. What I'm doing is pressing down two strings with one finger. Now there's a way to do this that really works for most of my students. Instead of doing the complete F chord, we're going to practice just the two notes with your first finger and add the second finger. This makes a chord that's a 3-note F chord. Once you get this, adding the third finger is really no problem. So let's just practice that first little partial bar. Put your first finger across the first and second strings on the first fret and angle the knuckle up a little bit. What I'm doing is pressing down on the first knuckle and letting the second knuckle pop up a bit. Okay, I got my thumb square behind the neck of the guitar. Try it out with me. Two strings. And just play around with that. That's the first step. Play around with it until you can get both of those strings to sound. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just go for about 70-80%. Then when you're ready, add that second finger over on the third string, second fret. Oops, I hit the fourth string by accident. That's a D note. When I do that, this is actually a useful chord called a D minor 7. But for now, we're just going to call it a 3-note F. Top 3 strings. Top 3 strings. Try it with me now. First finger, bar the first 2 strings. Pop up that second knuckle. And then the second finger over on the third string, second fret. Okay, practice that, come on back. Okay, I hope you practiced it. Now we're going to add the third finger. Make your 3-note F, also known as D minor 7, if you add the D, no, 3-note F. Now add the third finger, 4th string, 3rd fret. That's another F note. Very useful chord. If you never learn the bar, you can still get by with just this chord in most all situations. Okay, let's try it all together. First finger on, barring the 2 notes, second finger, and then third finger. You don't want to hit these 2 strings if you can help it. I wouldn't stress over too much, but you're aiming for the top 4 strings. Partial bar F. Now the way to practice this is to just work on this 3-note F and use it in some chord changes. You might want a good one that's going from this to C. Start slow and practice being able to change from one to the other without pausing. Then as you feel comfortable with that, again, perfect is not the issue, 70-80%. Start adding the third finger. Okay, let's go on to the bar F. Now the bar F, the trick to that is to practice the bar first. I have a whole lesson called the bar chord exercise. Now you might want to find that. If not, the basic idea of the exercise is to just practice making the bar all the way up and down. Check to make sure the strings are all sounding. And work on that while you're practicing this. So by the time you come to the bar chord F, your first finger is already strong and knows how to make a bar. Again, I'm aiming to make sure all the strings pretty well sound. So once you've done that, I would do that for at least a week, depending on how strong your finger is to start with. Then you add the rest of the F chord. It's basically an E. I'm making my E with my my second, third, and fourth fingers, right? Regular E. And then I just move everything up one fret and add the bar. The F chord bar is actually more difficult than the other bar chords because in this position, there's more tension on the strings. Once you get this bar chord F, the rest of the bars are actually a breeze. So that's a bar chord F. Go ahead and just try that with me. I'm assuming you've already practiced the bar chord exercise. We're going to make the E chord just for practice. And then move it up a fret and bar. Now, I don't really do that when I'm playing the F chord. Everything's going to go down together. Okay, finally, I just want to show you some of the other F chords I played. Not as useful. These two are by far the most useful. That's the partial bar and the full bar. This is basically a C form moved up to here. See, that looks like a C moved up into an F position. I use this in the flamenco style of music that I play a lot. And then there's a higher version, which is basically I call it a fifth string root bar chord. Oops, there we are. That's an F, or I can make a full bar out of it. That's the same as if I was making a C bar like this, up to F position. Thanks for joining me in this video. See you again soon. Bye for now.